Yes, I'm back from the toilet. But until today, I still feeling the sun that was on top of me, sunshine. My skin was itching all over once I was out from the cell and out from a police station. And I was asked what was my crime. And I said my crime was nothing. It was just the fact that I didn't head out to defend myself against the police. Was have his own problems on his own mind. I was defenseless. My mother asked to Tia Antonio, and Tia Antonio said that there was no crime. They just brought the boy to a police station. The beginning was to let him there for few minutes. And then they end up forgetting the boy inside of the cell. We brought him there for a few hours. But seeing properly, the boy had no problem. He was beaten up by a police. In the process, the police shirt broke the buttons. That is why he was brought to the police station. I look back at my mother and I cry again. I cry even stronger because I wanted to tell to my mother, I told you I'm not a criminal. I didn't commit any crime. My mouth lost the power to tell my mother that I didn't commit any crime. And I'm just a good and sweet boy, as you told me. I cried even stronger. I had no power to tell to my mother, but my mother understood what I wanted to tell her. Tia Antonio told me that when I was to go into business, I had to see him. As I did, I went to see him. Afterwards, and he's the one who took me back to the bakery and introduced me to workers and security guards and the police at the bakery. From that day on, I carried on doing the same business and not just being allowed to buy outside, even going inside the bakery. They did allow me going inside the bakery because they found me I was a good boy with a good will, good intentions, and I want to do good to others, and fighting for my future. Sometimes even they used to take me to see and learn how to make a bread, how the bread starts to be processed, and how it ends up to be a bread. The bakery director also knows me. The bakery secretary also, she knows me. Her name is Dominguez. Her surname or nickname is Mingota. The bakery was called Kashkan. At last the bakery came to have two directors. One was Alemão. The other one was the same. I think his name was Admir. Yes, but the bakery first director was not living far away, was living in the same community as Nelit Suarez, in one of the flats in the block is where he was living. Yeah. Otherwise, I didn't just went through those pains, but I also enjoyed myself. The taste of that bread. Today, I try, I search, but there is no bread tasting like that. Yesterday I dreamed about, and I had the same bread right before my eyes, and I eat the bread made by this Alemão, who was a director. Before he was a director, he was a baker, chef. That man makes nice bread. But before I eat this bread yesterday on my dream, I ate bread from another two baker chef. There was the worst quality, the nice quality, and the better quality was from Alemão. When I was to taste the Alemão's bread, my dream get finished. But I still have the Alemão's bread taste in my mouth, indeed. While I describe all these things, I get the feeling and understanding life is beautiful. And my childhood was just simple and easy. So doing business, I grow up, and there came the time that I get to be 14 years old. I was having sorry, right now I don't know whether, I just know that I'm flu. flu for months, and this flu, I don't have fever, I don't have cough, I only have fluids coming out from my nose, and it's difficult to breathe. Often I have to pull it through my mouth and throw it. I have been running, even running from Mandela's driver down to Mailing Center, Retain. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes, which I used to run before in 2007, 2010. Even 2000. '11, 12 and 13, but by now it is too much. I ran it right last week and I end up feeling like this. I can't exercise. I feel tired easy. My whole body pains, my lungs pain too. I feel like my lungs are getting shut down because who runs get his lung widen and boost his blood with oxygen. On my case, it's not the same. Sorry about that, but I was talking about that. Current doing business. I came to the age of 14 and I was having quite enough money to travel. I wanted to travel with my elder brother, one of my elder brothers, Sam, my fourth younger elder brother. I wanted to travel with him to overseas. But before we supposed to search around to check in the country whether we could find our brother. If we didn't, we should travel to overseas to go and educate ourselves. Because as far as I remember, in those days that I was trying to travel with my brother, and right now, my brother Toy, before he disappeared, in the last week that he was in my mother's house, he had a meeting with us, all the brothers and my mother too. And the decision was the brothers who were busy studying and studying well were gonna have the opportunity to go and study in overseas. And he selected I, myself, and Sam, my brother. We were doing well at school, so we were gonna be sent to study overseas by him. May in the country that he have studied, like Soviet Union or Cuba or another country around the world. Because he never stopped care for the family, even knowing that he was married, was having a daughter with this step or this sister-in-law of mine, and she was at the same time pregnant. The reason that was one of the reasons why she went to travel to Portugal to buy things for the baby that she was expecting. So my brother didn't fail by being responsible and willful, helping the family. He didn't fail to provide my grandmother with 375 bags of cement for my grandmother to renew houses that she was renting out. The houses were no longer in a good shape. Well, he was going to do after some time for my mother too, and me for my other uncles, due from the fact that he was working in a cement company and he was the director. Was much easier for him to buy and give to a family, or to buy for the family. Anyway, yeah, I was in the right age to go to study overseas. So Susan was no longer interested. He was scared to go to overseas. Was afraid. He was having no directions to go to overseas. So he told me was having no expectations to go to overseas. Even knowing that some of his friends did travel to overseas. Some to study, others to work, mostly to escape, to be a soldier. By unwill power, the government was taking them unwilling. Against their own will, government was taking them, arresting them. So this was my case, that I wanted to escape with my brother, to avoid to be a soldier. When other brothers of mine were already taken, they found themselves as a soldier. So another king was pretending that he's crazy, and I really don't know if, until now, I try to check on him. I don't know whether he was really having mental issues or psychological issues, but I think so. He wasn't appropriated to go to be a soldier. But my half-brothers and Agustin, they became soldiers. That was another big problem for my mother. So Sam was scared. I was stronger because the vision was from my disappeared brother, and the fact that my disappeared brother was in overseas, and some other brothers of mine, in particular the one who disappeared together with my half-brother, who disappeared together with my brother Toy. He have been studying in overseas also. Days where he became pilot commander or captain of a helicopter. And my brother, there is where he became chemical engineer, studying overseas. So for me, going to overseas was gonna be shaping myself to become with a fine accent, fine personality as my brother Toy, well educated, and become a writer, may become any kind of doctor. I can by now quite figure out what I really wanted to become besides being a writer. What I wanted to be a writer and become something else also to support being a writer. But my brother didn't want. And through my brother is how I was gonna be able to get the documentation. You see, I was very young. Sam was my older brother, he was already 18 when I was 14. He didn't accept it. Asked my mother also was unable to decide. And for me to be going alone was gonna be a big issue. For someone to go with me, an adult, there was no one disponible. By that time I didn't had to ask my mother to go with me, because even I asked, she wasn't willing to leave the other brothers. So the only thing, there was not much to do with the money. By that time, my mother opened a bank account under my name, because the money was enough to have to buy like 4 second-hand cars in good condition. And when I went to draw money from the bank, I didn't use to draw money just like that unless there was a very specific and a priority situation, like going to borrow to draw money to borrow to that that Cape Verdean friend of mine, Formosinda, that we used to call Vajinda. Yeah, Formosinda. Because there was a time that and the husband, they were really in need, and the family was starving. They came to me and asked for help, and I was really in a way to help them. I wanted to help them even before they came to me. So what I have done is I went to draw some money and I borrowed them. Otherwise all my money was there in the bank. I borrowed them an amount of money that could cover one new car. and they used the money. For me, even though that they were unable to give me, to pay back, for me that wasn't frustrating. I could understand at some point, because they done much for me. They were not just my friends. They helped me, they worked with me as I was doing business by means of allowing me to put my stock business in their house. They saved me through their family member who rescued me from the police station. That wasn't like a payback time, but was something quite satisfactory for our relationship. If they were in need and they didn't have how to give me to pay back what I lent to them, for me wasn't a big problem, and haven't been a big problem. But I worked again, and I recover, I closed that all in my money in the bank. When I just cover that, is when the government decide to change the money. And that was 1996. I was already traveling. I began even to traveling through this family. I'm good, very good in coping, because this family was sitting in a sitting room making their traveling plans, their traveling project. As I lended them the money, they tried to travel, they didn't succeed in business. Traveling around the country in Angola, they didn't succeed. I asked them, they helped me to be traveling in the country by means of taking me to a place where I should buy what I should buy to travel and do business. So there was a need of I be patient with me and myself, because I was just 14. I was just 15, 15 or 16 by the time, and I was need to wait to 18 to be traveling. Or maybe I was 18 already. I had to take the calculator and do the calculation, because by now, today, I'm 42 years old. Today is 2014. Where is the cell phone? Yeah, 2014. I don't want to do. I don't want to waste your time with the calculations. I just want to check the date. (2014) is the 7/12/2014. 28. Yeah. And it's 9 minutes after 1 o'clock. PM. Pretoria, South Africa. You see, by that time, the government, 1996, the government disvalorized, the government changed the money in the country. There was devalorization of 6% against the rand, against the kwanza. The government changed the money. So many people lost their money. And there was one of the Angolan politicians. What is his name? Mendes de Carvalho. He even said in the parliament, through the parliament he even said, but as the government is disvalorizing the money, what about the poor ones? How they will cope with the situation? What about the workers, teachers, and even soldiers? What about the kids at school? Even education in Angola is free, but how their parents will cope with feeding them, dressing them to school, and it is just today. What about their tomorrow? What about the old woman, the ones in the market of Sao Paulo, in Luanda, capital of Angola? What you are going to say, a government? Well, those women, those old ladies who are having no way of income unless to sit down in a free market and sell what they can sell to sustain themselves. What about them when they cry and say in Kimbundo, wayana kya okitadiame, government, maka mangole, a government, Jose Eduardo, wayana kya okitadiame. I myself, I was sitting, not before the radio, but before the TV, when Mendes de Carvalho was saying such things. And by that time, I was in south part of the country, Namibia. I traveled to get to know Namibia. I travel to buy fish. Today I remember. Through that couple, I began to travel. After traveling to Cabinda, the northeast side of the country, Angola, I had traveled to south of the country, Namibia. I went to get to know Namibia. I went to go and search for my brothers in Namibia. I didn't just travel by the reason I want to know the country or I want to do the business. Every corner of my country that I went, even passing through beaten by my family, because they were innocent, they didn't know. They lost themselves. All the sufferings that I went through, I went for the sake of found my brothers. And I searched for my brothers. I often avoid to be in the hotel, but going to stay in people's house, to get to be more together to them, listen to their stories, to their knowledge, to their wisdom, to see how far they are when it comes to know the history of that province, if not of the country. How well informed they are about the prisoners and the situation in the country, happenings in the province as well. Just to try to get some information. May I would, by this way, through them, or somehow find my brothers, or any of the disappeared passengers that were together with my brothers in the helicopter. Even the helicopter itself. But were nothing. So, while I returned to Luanda, I went to check my money in the bank. And what I found is a change left over from that money, which they call converted money. Was almost a money that fitted to buy, could fit to buy, afford to buy one second-hand car. From 4 second-hand cars, I only was afforded to buy one second-hand car. So I took that money, was almost for one second-hand car, together with the money that I was doing business. I took the opportunity to convert that money in the free market from Kwanza to dollar, American dollar. I put together and I see was enough money no longer to trust the government with my money, but to have rather my money converted in American dollar, or having half of my money in Kwanza, New Kwanza, that was called New Kwanza. Now was no longer one president's face, was 2 presidents' face, José Eduardo and Agostinho Neto, extending their hands in a gesture of greeting. I don't see that money by now, but this is what my eyes gave me to see. And understanding pictures of the past. This is what my mind afford to give me. I look at Suarez and I ask, let us travel. Suarez was afraid. Not ashamed, but was afraid to travel. Swar didn't know how to travel. I spoke with the Suarez family, his mother, his father. They listened to me careful, patient, willful. But at last, they didn't have the power to allow their son to travel with me to escape, to be a soldier. What I have done is, I can't travel alone, finding ways, corrupting policies and soldiers while I was arrested in Luanda, in the provinces in Angola. I have done my best, mostly stay indoors, avoid even to be in the hotels. If I didn't travel, I was not gonna be able to feed myself and feed my family, help them time and time again as I came back to sell the business and buy business in Luanda. If I didn't travel, I was not gonna be able to search for my brothers. I was not gonna be able to escape military arresting to be a soldier. Go and kill innocent ones. Go and kill the very Angolans. When I already lost my brothers, innocent, and many others in an aeroplane. And thousands others were dying in every corner of the country. Not talking about the 500 years of colonialism by Portuguese. But may it was better if Portuguese lasted in Angola. Like today I see in South Africa. What happened in South Africa? No one was forced to leave the country. In South Africa today is what it is. But I travel to find a way, to find the door, to have myself out from Angola. As I have been informed, not by anyone, but through the media while I was a child, and I and Swar, we made decisions what to do in the future. I was also afraid to be in any of African countries, because it wasn't just Angola, South Africa that was having problems. Even DRC, and some other countries. I could hear when Bob Marley would sing, and some other singers around the world about the other part of Africa. So it was better for me to leave Africa completely and try to search for my brother out from Africa or around the world. Because now not finding my brother, I began to see that it's better to travel. But I see my family, my mother, my life alone, what was gonna be. of my family. Even knowing that I had no wife, no girlfriend, no children, no daughter, no son. But I didn't want to be a killer. If it was to be a soldier, to defend the country against the foreigner enemy, or I would not think twice. Because I wouldn't accept a stranger to come and destroy and kill me or members of my family in my house. And my country is my house. I wouldn't allow that. No one would allow that to happen with him. Not even God. That is why God didn't allow Satan to destroy what he made. Because it's his house, his family. God had to fight back. So that is what happened here. But when he is to be a soldier to kill the same Angolan, which is my brother, is my blood. I can't think twice. But I can look twice. I look at the brother and the situation itself, and I look at the way. As I can't kill the brother who is killing me, coming to kill me, is on his way to kill me. At least as I would be forced by the government to go and kill other brothers by means of calling them UNITA, FENELA, or another party. I would rather run away. By this way, running away, I would protect that brother. I would protect the country and protect myself at the first place. And may another time, when the brother is quiet, he cooled down, he came to his common sense, I would come back home, sit down with the brother, talk, enjoy and live with the brother. So I didn't accept to kill an Angolan. since I was born up to today. I slaughtered chicken, I mean. I slaughtered a chicken. And I do remember one cat, white color cat. Cat was just small cat, which was a kitten that I found on the street on my way from my colleague's house. On my way back from my colleague's house was Sunday afternoon. The cat was lying there on a dead car oil, and the cat was not to survive. I tried my best and the cat wasn't recovering. So to allow the cat to be in suffering, I took the life of that cat. But I felt so bad that I loved that cat so much. If I didn't took his life, he was gonna die anyway. And I never forgot I never forgive myself for that. Up to the time that God gave me the opportunity to save some of the kittens on the street right here in South Africa, bringing them home, feeding them, healing them, buying medication and food for them. From the kitten age to a cat age. My first very cat was she, and by that time I was living with my son Dino. We called that cat Gina. Is in a picture, one of the pictures that we took. Dog as well. Mayatan was the last cat that we found in the street, was hanging itself was hanging up on the tree all by himself alone. Was a kitten. And we grabbed it in from the tree, we brought it at home. After got bigger, one of the days was bitten by an insect or another animal. We couldn't heal him, and it died. It was Mayatan. We gave him the name of Mayatan by the fact that by that time we were attending a spiritual meetings with the Jehovah's Witness. And one of the magazines, there was a picture of Jehovah's Witness spiritual brothers in America, in Mayatan Square, doing magazines distributions and preaching people So, as we love America, I and my son, we love America so much. We are not afraid, not ashamed to say that. We love America, and we don't just love America. We love American people so much. Don't matter your size, your color, your position, whether you are sleeping on the street, whether you are a beggar, whether you are drug addicted or drug dealer, or whether you are a politician, you are rich, you are a millionaire, multi-millionaire, or you are miserable. We love you. We don't just love you, but we even love your roads. Every single spot or thing that we see through the movies, through the pictures made in the newspaper, magazines, on the TV, or even in the news, or listen in the radio. We love it. We take it with a pleasure and love. Sometime later, I will tell you why. But so for now, this is a beautiful, wonderful opportunity to tell you that we love you, my American brothers, our American brothers and sisters. We love you so much. We would take a punch for you. We even feel for you, the ones who didn't yet came into and understand with a life. Especially the ones who are selling drugs, the so-called drug dealers, and the drug addicts, destroying themselves and destroying others, destroying lives, killing. Dying through drugs or drug addiction. We feel for you. Our request and our hope is that you get to have yourself back and stop do what you are doing. Get healed. Don't accept the name of getting clean. No. Get healed. When you get healed, you'll stop selling. When you stop selling, you'll stop destroying life, killing. You'll stop buying. You'll have nowhere to buy, no how to buy, no will to buy. You'll get healed. You get healed by accept life. You'll stop selling by accept life. Life is beautiful. Life is very simple. Life is a possibility. Life is joyful. Life is a priority. Give someone a priority to live a life. Even once more. For the brothers sitting on the streets, you are miserable. Let life taking care of you. Don't take care of destroying your life by sitting around and doing nothing. Just by the fact that you accept the situation. What lets you or took you to sit around the streets is a situation. You'll come to hear, I have been there. I tested the streets and I know what I'm talking about. The test that you have, cold days, shower days, naked days, hunger days, times that you count 1 hour like 1,000 days, 1 day like 1,000,000 days, 1 year like a time never finish. The streets, oh my brother. If you call for God, if you pray to God for bread, and you sit there, from the skies fall rain. From the skies fall something else beside rain. But from the skies never fall a bread as it is itself. But from the sky it's possible to fall bread as a blessing as you pray. If you don't know how to pray and you believe, it means your prayer. If you don't believe in God or you don't know God and you believe, is your prayer. Because God is a belief. Because God is what you can see. And what you can't see, and you see, even being visible, you believe is there, and you'll be able to reach to that. And you exercise yourself in a manner, and you get to have it, or you are in a way to reach to that. As long as you believe in magic. And magic is part of God. There is no magic without God. And there is no God without magic. He is one, the only one. But if you believe, if you are a believer, you are understanding, you are understand of not even a multi-millionaire, he can't give you. Sitting on the street, whether you are lying on the floor, whether you are sick or you are ill, whether you are desperate or not, but sitting all by yourself, whether you are running or walking or standing, but sitting on the street all by yourself, wishing to be a rich or a millionaire, without believing you didn't have yourself, your life back. You don't know life. That is not the meaning of life. Life is something much more, is bigger. Talking about life may have begun in our way of understanding and is acceptable for our size as we are a breathing creatures. God may accept us to be describing life with a beginning. But for God, life have no beginning and have no end. So we can begin to describe life. We will not ever be able to finish to describe life. So when you get to know life, embrace it. And the way to get to know life is believe, just believe you'll wish to live once more. Being sitting and standing or running, being a poor, even on the street, you will have yourself out from there. Because you don't just wish to know life. Now we want to live forever. Because life is something that calls you to live forever. My brothers and sisters, I love America. I love the world. I love the universe. And when I pray to God, please, once more, may through me, please, through my prayer, please, bless America. Please, bless Americans. Please, bless the American dream. Please, God, bless the world. Bless the other countries, small and bigger, rich and poor countries. Bless them. Bless their dreams. Bless the wish of becoming better. But please, God, don't bless the ones who are searching to destroy life. The ones who are turning themselves terrorists. Bless them with the opportunity of wanting to allow others to study and to bring themselves to study, or to bring themselves to study through their lives to help others, as they have the ability of manipulating someone's brain to go and destroy life. Bless them with manipulation of manipulating someone's brain to go, all of us, and join America. Join the richest countries of the world. The countries who are in this day, in this time, searching through the medicine, science and technology to stop one from dying. Science and medicine and technology we have to embrace it with a full will, desire, with no time to waste, with a full energy to expend on it. Dedicate time after time, day after day. If all of us give ourselves the opportunity to join the scientists, to join the doctors, to join the technologists or the technicians, in order to search a cure to stop us from dying, I believe we are not far away from that. We are just being lazy to do so, and the ones who are not lazy to do so are being disturbed, especially in particular by those terrorists. We are to build life. We are to protect life. We are to stop us from dying. If you say the world is smaller and we are human beings being multiplied, the universe answer after questioning you, and you have no answer for the universe. Itself alone gives you the answer. What size is the universe and what is there? And what is the world comparing with the rest of the universe? And once again, the maker of the universe the one who designed the universe tells you life is a possibility. If you see it impossible for you to reach, impossible for you to become, even live forever, impossibility is in your mind. And impossible it is you turning your life into it. Life is a possibility. Oh, For the ones who are sitting in their own house or in a neighbor's house by being a refugee. When I'm talking about in his own house, in his own country, or in another country, even being a refugee, or for being a refugee. In a rich or poor country, please get to know that the rich countries in the world are not mostly to be guilty from the situation that other countries are poor. But dare today to be embraced instead of to be chosen to be destroyed or stepped in what they are doing. Because all today I see, I know, and I believe, not just through the media, not just through the people's mouths, but I see that day when I was 9 years old, the interpretation of the full moon in an empty sky, color blue at night, with a few stars, and the red color, green and blue, yellow color of the passing cars and sparkling lights in the city downtown Luanda. Right in front of the sea. The interpretation was bigger. If you allow me once more to explain to you, it will not just be an explanation, but part of that is what I'm living. And the ones who stand before me, creating a situation, I'm not against them. I'm not ashamed of them. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not stressed with them, but I'm patient with them, giving them the opportunity. If they didn't know, well, they were standing with the opportunity of allowing me to pass. I keep being patient with them because the time has come for them to know what they failed to do. And this is once more an opportunity for them to get to see life even through me. Because He gave me the opportunity when I was 9 years old, and that night, to get the interpretation of what I was to live. My dreams is not to achieve bigger. Even bigger is there in front of me. My chief, or my dream, is to achieve. Forever. To achieve forever, I don't have to call you guilty. I don't have to kill you. I don't have to destroy what is yours. To achieve forever, I have to be patient, kind, humble. I have to be intelligent. I have to get knowledge. I have to get wisdom. I have to get understanding. I have to be interested in you. I have to get your bad manners. I have to get your mistreating, your fault. Your guiltiness. And put aside, because you are not your faults, your guiltiness, your bad manners. And that day, He gave me the opportunity to get to know how to see you separated of those things. That makes you to be seen a bad person. So, when I look at a terrorist, I knew you can stop yourself of kill other. And I know that you have no approval from them. Life is maker. Even you use the word that you will be happy because you are doing for your brothers who are passing difficulties or are being killed by his or your enemy. Clap your enemy without hands, so that your enemy cannot accept to be clapped once more without hands, by means of learn with your enemy. If he is intelligent, as you call him. When you see your neighbor does have and you don't have, you are poor on your house, laugh for your neighbor. Even knows that he laughs for your misery. Laughs for your neighbor. Be happy by the fact your neighbor is happy alone. Because if you be happy by the fact that your neighbor is happy alone, and you don't have how to be happy, you will end up happy by being contagious by his happiness. Accept to be contagious by someone who is laughing. Laugh with him together. Even when he is laughing against you. This way, if we laugh and feel rich, even living in poor countries, feel rich by the fact that there are rich countries in the world, we will also be able to be rich by joining them. If we just joining them to allow them to be rich, and we be given opportunity of helping them for us to be somewhere, life is not a bread. Life is not a car. Life is not even a water. Life is not even a human being body. How many times we were given a body to bear was our belongings. How many times we touch bodies? So many times. Have you ever been able to hold life by one finger? See life or touch life? Have you been one day able to put life back where it was and it no longer is, even knowing that may you are able to conceive? That is what I'm talking about. That is not possible. That is not impossible. But that is a possibility. So you decide to run and say, may, it's not gonna be possible. No, that is possible. That is possible in the sense of possibility is much bigger than a word possible and a word impossible. Possibility is much wider, and a possibility is what we call forever. And forever is what is life. And a life that has its owner. Its owner is the one who doesn't have begin, doesn't have end, and is still alive. He is life. Can you just hear what he told me to let you know? I know there are ones that don't believe in forever. And I know there are ones that believe and live forever. And I know today there are ones asking, there is someone already living forever? And there are some others saying, yes, there is someone already living forever. By the means of died and is living somewhere, or is living through someone. But I wish to tell you that. Allow me to tell you that. Forever will be here, and forever is here already. We just need to open our eyes. That is why we have to join ourselves together and stop going up and down with no sense. Because life is not a car, life is not the richest country in the world. Life is not a president. Perhaps he or them are sitting there for reason, even they being the ones for a wrong reason. Like the ones sitting in power, doing nothing but disturbing our way to go and attain life, or join the ones who are searching for a cure for us to live forever. There are others sitting. I'm not a politician. I don't wish to be, but I have quite some understanding of politics. In order to get to know where I am and see in which place I am in a society, comparing with others, their attributions. And I found myself not a politician, but I have quite some understanding of a politician, of politics, in order to see the world in which direction it is going to, even not knowing much about the past and today, but I often want to see. I have to pay attention to what comes, because I was told when I was 9 years old, open your eyes, go forward, live to see, and you will see to live and understand. That is why I am here. I believe in forever. Because once more I'm going to question you, and the question is for you alone. Who doesn't believe in forever? You who doesn't believe in forever, please tell me, where were you before you were conceived? Long before your father, your mother, your grandparents, and much more came to existence. And when you were a little boy, did you know or got an understanding of what you are listening today? Perhaps you are having today. Or perhaps you are just a boy who are listening to this. Do you knew that day when you didn't know how to listen, but you were listening? When you didn't have an understanding, but you were before the people were having understanding. When you didn't know that you were seeing, but you were seeing. Oh, when life didn't avoid you, gave you the opportunity for you to be coming to this point in your life. Did you know that you are going to be here today to listen to this? Or may I ask, did you know that you are going to get to have a bread? But you are coming from nothing, from no one. Where were you once again before you became a human being? Tell me stories, how the roads were looking like, how the sun was shining, or was set. If in the morning you were sleeping, perhaps you didn't saw the sun side. Eh? What? Excellency, you are answering that you are given an opportunity by life itself alone to see, experiment and enjoy all those things until what I'm saying to you. Yeah. So if you are given an opportunity, life wasn't selfish and still not being selfish. Embrace these opportunities because there is much more for you to see. Let us join together our strengths and stop those from kill others. Stop those from killing themselves. In particular, those small kids who are coming out from their countries, even rich countries, to go and join the ones who want to kill in name of protection, in name of God. Get to know He is life and He is not selfish. Thank you. I really didn't become emotionally if that happens to be with you, and if it happens you to see my says on such way. But even so, even I became emotional or was emotionally, those words are not a lie. Those words are true. And those words belongs to no religion. Those words are from a living creature who is able to speak. Those words are truthful. Those words are what I believe. Those words is what I see. May later on I will come back to you to carry on with my recording. But this was the reason why I didn't allow myself to be a soldier. To kill my brother. In the Republic of Angola. We are being selfish. And today is the day that we have to stop being selfish and embrace life. For you who wish to kill yourself because you are sick or because you are desperate, because you have pain, because you lost yourself, go back time and time again and question life. Allow life to be just as it is for you, in a natural, simple way. Life will tell you. Life wants you to live. In fact, that is why you breathe it. This short period of time, less than a second, 1 second, to hear this. If you are dying, my brother, my heart goes out for you. But my hope lasting forever, of we as a human being be able to overcome our inventions and stick to the point, destroy our main enemy, our main obstacle, a death. Allow me, give me a break. I'll carry on after some time. Aye, why you?